Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, let's talk about Terence Crawford because we have more developments in the Terence Crawford, Errol Spence / Derek James saga. Right now, I'm holding my camera, so if you see my camera moving a little bit, it's because my tripod decided to break right before I started to shoot video. So that's how the game goes. You can't complain about it. All you can do is adjust. The great ones adjust. So that's what we're doing. We're adjusting, and we're making it do with what we have. So, as many of you know, Derek James, the trainer of Errol Spence Jr., he recently came out and he stated that making the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. fight at this moment in time is dumb, that it's not smart, that the fight doesn't make enough money for them to want to make the fight. He basically wants a retirement check to fight Terence Crawford. They want a lifetime retirement check to fight Terence Crawford. They can't just get decently good money. No. They need a freaking retirement check before they even consider looking at a contract to fight Terence Crawford. But here's what Terence Crawford had to say in regards to Derek James' recent statements about Crawford's low pay-per-view numbers, Crawford, needing to raise his profile, and the fight with Spence not being big enough. Here's what he said. I quote, "I'm starting to notice Derek James is a hater, and I don't know, and he doesn't know shit. All he do is keeping people in protected custody." Ooh, my main man, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford must watch True School Sports. So if you're out there, bud, shout out to you. He pretty much just used a term that we always use here in True School Sports, which is witness protection. All right. Terence knows, I know, you know, and we all know that Errol Spence Jr. and many of the PBC welterweights are in a witness protection program formulated by Al Heyman and Premier Boxing Champions to avoid him and to avoid taking a big fat ass L, because that's what pretty much all of his welterweights, except for maybe Pacquiao, would take if they fought Terence Crawford. And that's why they don't want to fight him, because they're not going to get a crazy amount of money for it. And in all reality, he's probably going to beat the hell out of them. So, if Terence Crawford was a bum, or if he was a C-class fighter that Al Heyman and his team felt that his fighters could beat, then no problem. We've seen in the past, PBC has no problems putting on bum bashes or mismatches on. I mean, for Christ's sakes, in a matter of weeks, James Kirkland is going to headline a PBC card, and it's 2020, so that kind of tells you everything about the state of PBC. But there's been a lot of questions recently about Terence Crawford. A lot of the PBC fanboys have been questioning Terence Crawford's ambition. They say things like, well, if Terence Crawford really wanted the Errol Spence fight, then he would leave Bob Arum and come to PBC, which I don't really think is a smart idea, because he can go to PBC and go to Al Heyman, but Heyman has his guys. He has his guys that he's going to protect no matter what. And who's to say that he's going to even look after Crawford or make those fights happen? That might actually be what he wants, to avoid those guys fighting him even more, because then I'll control over his career and he can have him go fight Jamal James or some shit like that. So, I like what Terence Crawford said, because I agree with him. In what world, when do we ever hear the trainers starting to sound like promoters and managers? I mean, Derek James, listen, I got the utmost respect for Derek James. I've had a chance to meet Derek James. I've had a chance to interview Derek James. I've done a phone interview with Derek James. I love Derek James. I got nothing but positive things to say about him as a trainer. So all respect, all love, and all peace go out to Derek James. We call a spade here on True School Sports. And you're sounding like you're freaking Eddie Hearn. You're sounding like you're Bob Arum. You're sounding like you're freaking Don King. You're sounding like a promoter, and you're not a promoter. You are a trainer. Your job is to train your fighter to get in the best possible shape, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to win the fight on the night. That's his job. Your job isn't talking about percentages, pay-per-view buys, and purse splits. So when we hear you talking about percentages, pay-per-views, and purse splits, it makes it look like you are joining Al Heyman and the powers that be at PBC in formulating a witness protection program for Errol Spence. And that's kind of pissing me off, because look, I don't think you Spence fans, or and even some of you Crawford fans, I don't think enough boxing fans are taking into consideration that this fight needs to happen really soon. I mean, Errol Spence, we don't know what his condition is because of the car crash. He's already big at the weight class to begin with, so he could be moving up to 154 any day now, any month now. His body could outgrow 147, and he could be having a move to 154. And then on top of that, you got Terence Crawford, who's no spring chicken, so he's aging by the day, and they're trying to age him out. They're trying to wait on him to get old and decline and show some signs of slowing down. And I really don't like that kind of stuff, man. Like that stuff has to stop. We want to see the best fight the best. And you know what? There's no fight in American boxing right now between two fellow Americans at this level that people want to see more than Crawford Spence. There isn't one. There is not one. So what's the holdup? What's the holdup? It's no different than Wilder Fury. Okay, Wilder wasn't moving numbers. He wasn't selling tons of tickets when he was before he fought Fury. You know, there was empty seats at the Barclays Center. And we've seen many times in boxing history, sometimes a guy is not a big draw on his own, but if he's a dance partner for somebody else who is a moderately successful or successful draw, then the fight can do big numbers. Particularly if that fight winds up being a co-promotion between two networks as big as, like, you know, a Fox or, you know, ESPN, which in this case you'll have Fox, ESPN, because this will be a co-promotion. It'll have to be, because both fighters are contractually obligated to networks and promotional outfits and promotional entities. So we want to see this fight. We don't want to hear Derek James and these PBC guys putting a great fighter, a great creme de la creme, top pound for pound caliber fighter like Errol Spence in witness protection. And like we don't expect those kind of things for a guy like Errol Spence, for a fighter of his caliber. We would expect that for somebody like Deontay Wilder or somebody of lesser caliber, but not Errol Spence. Errol Spence is the truth, as his name would insinuate. So we want to see the truth step in there with the other consensus best welterweight in the world, Terence Crawford, and we want to see who the best is. And if it's Terence Crawford, then fair play to him. And if it's Errol Spence, fair play to him. But if the fight happens, it's beneficial to both fighters. It's beneficial for them in the short term as far as money. It's beneficial for them in the long term as people will know who they are and their profiles will be built more through a massive co-promotion as both networks get involved. So what's the holdup? We just saw the power of what a good co-promoted fight between two of the best fighters in the division in Wilder and Fury. We saw what that could do. We saw how it's turned those guys into household names. And now you got ESPN, who before that fight, every now and then they would talk about Wilder, Fury, or maybe not at all. And now they're talking about these guys almost every single day. And why is that? It's because they're household names. Because of the promotion of ESPN and Fox together, along with the fight and the build-up and the two selling themselves, it made them household names. And I'm not saying that this will be Wilder Fury level, but it can still be a pretty damn big fight. So I'm just saying, we just have got a great example of what that could do. And nothing's moving. We still got Derek James talking as if he's a manager or promoter. So PBC, stop putting a great fighter like Errol Spence with his protection. You know, and I'm glad Terence Crawford said it, because I say it and people say I'm hating. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with Terence Crawford? Do you think Derek James has Errol Spence in a witness protection program with the way he's speaking about this fight? You know, talking like he's a manager, like he's Peter Kahn or Cameron Duncan or one of these top managers in boxing. You know, let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.